Welcome everybody, Coach Kevin here. Moment defending transition. You can implement these principles in defending third, midfield third, or attacking third. So obviously, my moment is defending transition, and the area is obviously our defending third. So a full training week on defending the goal, defending the width of the goal. So it's a progression week from Monday through Thursday, 3 sessions. We start with small-sided games, then we expand it to half a field, and then on Thursday we get ready for the game. The reason why I'm doing these videos is because some coaches reached out to me saying, hey, it would be amazing if people just come to a channel or just go online and find a full week of training sessions, because most of us have full-time jobs. They just come in and they just come to this page, this video, and they have a full week of training session. So that's basically the reason why I'm doing it. All right, let's get right into it. So defending transition, small-sided game, week 32, session 94 of the season. So this is an 11v11. You can also implement this as a 9v9. We focus on recovery runs and blocks. So this is a high-intensity session. Why? We just came off a spring break. Kids probably didn't do anything, etc. So we're trying to implement this high intensity with quick transitions and sprints. So basically, a setup where kids would dribble the ball, they finish in a small goal, and then after they finish, they go and press the player that starts on the other end of it. Let me just do the quick play here. So I also have two progressions. So I'm just gonna let it play the first time so you see what we're trying to do. And I'll walk you guys through it after that. This is the last progression, so let's just wait. Here we go. So it's a 30 by 20 area divided into two lanes with a 6-yard central passing channel. So kids will dribble the ball, and once they get into the yellow zone, they will pass the ball into the mini goal. After they pass the ball, they will go and press the player on the opposite side outside the passing zone. So you'll see it right there. So you will finish, and then the other player will start his run after they pass, and then the player will try to block the shot to the small goal. So number 6 here, you see he passed it. Number 11 starts to dribble. He tries to block the shot on that side, and this 11. So basically, boom, that's the block that we're looking for. Then first progression is basically same dribble, but now if you would like to finish, I'm giving the players an extra option. They can finish with a straight pass, or they can switch the point of attack to the other side. So that's basically another one. It will trigger the defender to maybe adjust their body position on which side they could actually defend. The first time around was basically, okay, I just have to block the straight pass. But now they're giving the extra option. Third progression is a very common sense, very normal progression where instead of passing the ball, we allow the player on the ball carrier, to dribble the defender in the passing lane. So once they get outside the passing channel, the yellow zone, they have to finish on the goal. So that's the first session. Like I said, high intensity. They're gonna go left and right, and most of them will probably never get the ball, but again, don't forget what the whole objective is here. They just came off a spring break. So we're looking for the high intensity physical periodization and try to get back into the game rhythm. I'm just going to let it run one more time so you see the progression, right? They can go to both goals and then they dribble. This is the last progression where you're given the option to dribble inside. Good. All right. Second session of the week, we have a half field space. So this is basically an attacking wave is what we like to call it, where we implement the wingers. The defenders play the ball around in a quick rondo, small rondo. After they lose the ball to the attackers try to connect with the wingers, and then obviously we're looking for defending transition. So you're looking for the defenders to focus on their recovery runs and try to defend the goal, so the width of the goal. Let me just refresh the link here so we don't have to wait the whole thing. All right, here we go. So this is the rondo. Red team has the ball. They lose the ball. The attackers play the ball to the outside wingers, and then you're looking for the defenders now, the red team, to defend the width of the goal and basically try to make sure that there's no shot on goal. So this is just Sometimes, when they do connect 5, 6 passes, you can just give them a target. The coach can be there outside, but typically they will lose the ball at some point. The attackers will connect with the winger. It's basically a 4v4 attack in the box if you include the opposite winger. Personally, I don't have that many players, so what I did was I just went to the right side and the left side, so it's basically just a winger versus 3v3 in front of goal. So, oh, here we go. Good. That's the target player. And that's the wave. So basically, your key coaching points would be scanning. It's 1, 2. You defend the width of the goal with the defenders, and then 3, commit when you try to challenge the ball, try to commit to challenging the ball. Another quick back progression, and this one was I asked the center backs or the defenders to defend the width of the goal, but now the next progression, as you can see here, I instructed the fullback that they're free to press the player on the outside as well, which basically triggers the player centrally cognitively because then they're kind of outnumbered in front of goal. So as you can see here, right, our left back is allowed to press, and then they have to really make sure that they communicate and their body shape is there in front of goal to defend our big goal. So this was a very very good session for this week. Kids loved it because the attackers had an objective and the defenders obviously had an objective too. So it was very, very entertaining to watch. Thursday, week 32, session 96. A little bit of a different setup because again we're focusing on defending transition. So you're looking for the high intensity interval training, which is the HIIT. Also, 3 phases. Free play, so the kids get to know, get familiar with what we're trying to do here. And then the second progression was 5 passes, and then we can finish. And then the third progression was everybody needs to be on the attacking half when they finish. So again, the attacking and defending transition focus for that. So those were the 3 progressions. I'm just gonna let it play here. Let me uh, refresh the link. I don't think that's the correct link, so let me just go to my page real quick. I apologize. Let me find it. All right, while I'm scrolling through, feel free to follow me. I have about 25,000 followers. You see, I'm documenting my whole curriculum here. So anyway, all right, here we go. Let me just move myself. Good. All right, so setup 30 by 50. 2 goals in the middle, opposite side. It's a 4v4 plus 4 or 5v5 plus 5, depending on how many numbers you have. So basically, you can connect with the bumpers. Free play, right? They can finish after they score 1 or 2 goals. You rotate in and out with the bumpers. Second progression was 5 passes, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then they can look to finish. Right, perfect. And then the last progression, I didn't let it play again, but you see that all the players need to be on their attacking half. So this is very, again, high intensity. I kind of like the high intensity. So it's a 30 by 50, 2 goals in the middle, or you can use mini goals, or you can use one big goal, 2 mini goals. You can use one big goal and just use the back of the big goal as a goal. But basically, very, very good session. Kids loved it. I loved it. Kids were locked in because it was also kind of a different setup, but with the goals in the middle, so it was new to them. And they had an incentive with 5 passes, so sometimes it took a little bit before they were able to score. But the high intensity was definitely there. Let me move myself back here. Obviously, the principle that we're focusing on, apply immediate pressure on the ball. So that's the main principle. If you're outnumbered, you try to delay the attack. That's why we did the wave 4v3, 3v5 kind of wave there. We want to make sure they drop off and block the path to goal. So basically defending the goal, drop off, protect the center is something that we could coach. You can coach the high intensity. What do the closest players do? What's the first defender doing? The second defender doing? Do they apply immediate pressure on the ball like a counter press is what people refer to? With the attacking wave, are we recovering with speed? Are we getting numbers back quickly behind the ball to support our teammates? Are they communicating? Are we connecting the players in the back line to defend in relation to the goal? So defender with the goal. Um, One thing I did notice, and that's why I highlighted here, kids tend to give up quite easily, so you can coach the high intensity and the high energy for not giving up. So main principles: delay the counterattack if you're outnumbered, recover with speed is a given. Uh, Sub principles: drop off and defend the goal, the path to goal. Get numbers back quickly, so those are the recovery runs that we did in Monday. Press from behind as quickly as possible. That's basically the attacking wave and the 5v5 plus 5 that we did. Stay connected. Obviously, when you're outnumbered, communication is key. I'll include a quick periodization table here, physical periodization. So depending on how many kids are on the field, this would be your work versus recovery duration and your repetitions and sets. So if we do a 5v5, it's basically a 4-minute work, 2-minute rest, which brings you up to 6 minutes. You do that times 4 is 24 minutes. 2 sets is 48 with 4 minutes in between. So that's basically a 50 to 55 or 60-minute session, excluding your warm-up, dynamic warm-up, and your cooling down. So this is basically your 80 to 90-minute session. I'll include it. But if you have any questions, my name is Coach Kevin. Handle name at the Scouting Corner on YouTube as well as Instagram. You saw my Instagram. So I have about 25,000 followers. If you want to learn more about me, just reach out to me. If you have a session or a topic about a session, let me know. Obviously, these are all tailored for 11v11 season curriculum, but feel free to reach out because obviously I can adapt. But I hope you guys found some value in this. It's a very important topic and principle that we try to implement during the game and during the week. Obviously, leading up to the game, but defending transition. I think there's data out there that transition plays are becoming more and more valuable. It's no longer 70% possession like Guardiola, Barcelona, and Bayern Munich. Now the goals are being scored and goal scoring opportunities become well come from transition plays more and more. So very important. But my name is Coach Kevin. Reach out if you guys have an idea about a session or something that you want me to tackle. And thank you for watching.